Goeiemôre almal. Wat sê julle? Nee, dis lekker man. Dis baie lekker. Nee. Good morning, peeps. Oh, to all of those in the recovery lifestyle and want to get into the recovery lifestyle, hope you're all having a wonderful East Thursday, isn't it? Wonderful Thursday morning, 17th of February. This is Addiction with Des, part 35. So ja mense, dit is just a little bit past 8 o'clock. It's actually 5 past 8. 32 degrees here in Paris, sunny South Africa. En dit is wonderlik. Ja, dit is baie wonderlik. Hoor jy? Ja nee. Feeling a bit under the weather this morning. But anyway, you have to just move on, isn't it? Who is this? Who's that? No, it's not. Anyway, lost my place again. So yeah, part 35, Addiction with Des, and please remember, I am not affiliated with any of the AA groups, and we have somebody coming to say hello. Good morning, Feifei. Hey, where you hiding your head? Hey, where, friend, where's your bubba? Wait, oh, you're giving me a hug. You're giving me a hug, my bubba. She hugs by pushing her head into you. Anyway. Now you want to see the camera. There's the camera. Say hello, Feifei. That's Daddy's poepeloops. This is my poepeloops. Alright. I don't have kids. All I do. Four-legged one over there. That's my child. Some people are just not meant to have children. I always tell people that, the Bible says sins of the father will be relived through the son tenfold. Knowing what a shit I was, shit I did, or hell no. I ain't going to be facing that. Medication gives a like a droog back, dry mouth. So yeah, please remember, I'm not part of AA and anyway. I do use the literature as the Just for Today reading book, as I find it is very good. It is good for everybody. So yeah. So today's reading is February 7th, and the title is Carrying the Message, Not the Addict. So this is actually a very decent reading this morning. Now, yeah. Right, shall we jump right into it? Okay. Right, so February the 17th, Carrying the Message, Not the Addict. They can be analyzed, counseled, reasoned with, prayed over, threatened, beaten, or locked up, but they will not stop until they want to stop. And obviously they're talking about addicts. Right. Basic text, page 62. Right. Perhaps one of the most difficult truths we must face in our recovery is that we are powerless over another's addiction as we are over our own. We may think that because we've had a spiritual awakening in our own lives, we should be able to persuade another addict to find recovery. But there are limits to what we can do to help another addict. We cannot force them to stop using. We cannot give them the results of the steps or grow for them. We cannot take away their loneliness or their pain. There is nothing we can say to convince a scared addict to surrender the familiar misery of addiction for the frightening uncertainty of recovery. We cannot jump inside other people's skins, shift their goals, or decide for them what is best for them. However, if we refuse to try to exert this power over other addiction, let's try that again. However, if we refuse to try to exert this power over another's addiction, we may help them. They may grow if we allow them to face reality, painful though it may be. They may become more productive by their own definition as long as we don't try and do it for them. They can become the authority on their own lives, provided we are only authorities on their own. Okay, do that again. I'm battling this morning. They can become the authority on their own lives, provided we are only authorities on our own. If we can accept all this, we can become what we were meant to be, carriers of the message, not the addict. Excuse me for struggling this morning, people. Just for today, I will accept that I am powerless not only over my own addiction, but also over everyone else's. I will carry the message, not the addict. Right. Coffee means coffee. So yeah, excuse me for struggling this morning. So there's a reading in Proverbs 17. First, let's explain Proverbs for you. There's 31 days in a month. There's 31 Proverbs. So for each day of the month, you have Proverbs to read. A chapter of Proverbs to read. So today is the 17th, so we read Proverbs 17. Right, so this one is Proverbs 17 verse 3. And I thought it goes very nicely with today's reading. Gold and silver are tested by fire, and a person's heart is tested by the Lord. Same with this reading that we just read now. Right? You're going to be tested. That's just part of life. An addict is always going to be tested. Everywhere you go. Alcohol signs. Movies with drugs being taken. All sorts of shit. Right, but let's get back to the reading. So we go up to the first part of the reading. They can be analyzed, counseled, reasoned with, prayed over, threatened, beaten, or locked up, but they will not stop until they want to stop. Obviously, I can only speak from my own experience. And, I was in, I think it was 7 different rehabs. All right. and 7 different rehabs, and I was in. I just got to count it quickly. Soweto is known as Sun City, as Deep Cliff Prison, Krugersdorp, and Nelspruit. Nelspruit wasn't too long there. But Krugersdorp, I was there a year waiting trial. Um, Deep Cliff, Sun City, I was there a year and a half. Was it? Yeah, a year, 7 months, something like that. Awaiting trial. And a good couple of times in the Chuki, in the holding cells. A lot of times in the holding cells. So, yeah, all because of drugs and, the activities that come with the lifestyle of being a full blown junkie, right? Theft, fraud, GBH, it's known as grievous bodily harm, right? Assault, deadly weapon, and yeah, a lot of shit, and a lot of shit I didn't get caught for, right? Like I said, like it says, you can be threatened, beaten, and whatever, but you're not going to change until you want to change, right? So you can sit there and keep telling yourself lies that you can do this on your own. You've got this. Let me tell you this. Sure, you can do it on your own. Sure. But you have to be honest with yourself. And you have to ask yourself the hard question. Do you want it? How badly do you want it? And what are you willing to give up to get it, to have it, to obtain it, to live it? All right? I have to be back. The uncle that works in the garden is here. Please hold. All right. I are back. But I have forgotten what I was talking of. And that was on this entire lines of we don't change unless we want to change. So like I was saying, I remember that part. All those institutions that I was in. I mean, even when I was locked up, I don't remember what happened at Krugersdorp, but I remember it at Sun City. No, it was Krugersdorp, not Sun City. At Krugersdorp, I remember sitting there praying and saying, "Oh, just let me out, man. If you let me out, I promise you I'll change, praying to my higher power, trying to bargain with my higher power." Okay. And when I was released, I remember, right after being released, within that first half an hour, because I had to walk, I organized heroin. Phoned my dealer, said to him, "Hey bud, just been released from Krugersdorp. We're gonna meet you." So, this is why I say addicts will not change unless they want to change. You cannot force them. You cannot force us. People, I'm going to move because this lawnmower cutting outside across the road in the park is annoying the crap out of me. So I'll be back again. Right, I are back. Much quieter in the kamer. Oh shit. Forgot. Switched off at the plug. So yeah. Jails, institutions, and death. Is that not the saying? Hey? And I'm having brain farts this morning, people. So yes, it it took me being on a farm in the middle of nowhere called Steenbokpan. It's past a town called Ellisras, and took me being on this farm. The program was 9 months or a year. So, you know, once again, as most of us, you know, family intervened. And, sorry, I want to put this phone down instead of holding it. So I'm pausing again for a sec. Alright, so is Isy's terug. So yeah, it took me being on this farm in the middle of nowhere. And as I said, you know, as most of us, you know, parents intervened or family members intervened. In my case, it was, you know, once again, my mother, you know, saved me. I was on the streets, in and out of these shelters. So yeah, so I was given the opportunity once again to go to rehab. So stubborn as I was, living on the streets, and let me get off the topic here quickly. It shows you how twisted my mind was, you know, living on the streets, sitting under a tree in the middle of a park in Hillbrow, no Broomer Lake, sorry, watching traffic going past, thinking to myself, look at these sheep, they're all sheep, not one of them are free. Me, I'm free. No, I wasn't. I was a slave to my substance. All right. So even then, you know, I didn't think I had a problem. So family intervened, you know, gave me the choice, rehab. I accepted, grudgingly accepted. 9 months or a year, Des? And I said, no, 9 months. I'll do 9 months. So fine, off I go. From where my parents were staying, well, to the rehab was about a 5-hour drive. So we get there, I get there, you know, stubborn as all hell, as we tend to be. And 6 months into the program, I was always in trouble. Always getting consequences, you know. And I remember also while I was there, for the entire 9 months that I was there, and no contact with my family. No letters, no phone calls, nothing. I was completely on my own. They dropped me off and they left. Right, this is make it or break it. 6 months into my program, I was sitting outside the room I was staying in, sitting outside. About 3 o'clock in the morning, having a cigarette, looking up at the stars, and then only way I can describe it is like I got smacked in the head with a baseball bat. Bah! And this revelation came over me. It was just like, holy shit. I put my hands in the air and I said, right, you know what? More Valetti. And I just said, right, Lord, take the steering wheel. I'm done. I'm done fighting. Obviously, I cannot drive this bus. Because whatever I do, I'm screwing up big time. So, the feeling I had when I surrendered, utter and complete surrender, was weightlessness. And from that day on, I decided I'm changing my life. And I'm doing it for me. Same thing as you. You got to do it for you and no one else. Not for your dad, not for your mom, not for your brother, sister, granny, uncle, pooples, and freaking assholes, whoever. You got to do it for you and for the right reasons. Because remember, only you can bullshit everybody else, but you cannot bullshit yourself. And going into recovery does not mean everything is now just going to be easy. Sunshine and daisies. Hell no. This is when shit gets real. This is when things get real, people. Because around every corner you go, there's going to be a challenge set in your path. And it's all, how I see it, is to made me stronger. Made me stronger. Because in the beginning it is so tempting to step aside, step back, step to the right. You know? Make an excuse. It is so easy in the beginning. But if you really want it, you will allow nothing to derail you. Even now at 8 years sober in recovery, there is still temptation. Still. But I'm stronger to turn my back on it and say, cheers, been there, done that. Got the t-shirt, smoked the fucking t-shirt, and sniffed the video rights. You want recovery? Get it. Nothing's going to stop you. Don't allow anything to stop you. They will not stop until they want to stop. You will not stop until you want to stop. I'm only talking about that part of the reading this morning, not the rest of the entire thing, because that part to me is the most important part of that entire reading. You will not stop until you want to stop. So stop making the excuse of turning around going, I tried for a week, a month. I was sober for 3 months. I relapsed. You obviously didn't want it. You obviously didn't want it. If you want it bad enough and you want it strong enough and you want it, you'll do anything to obtain it. I'm not going back to prison. That smell, that feeling of those places stays in here. The smells and the feelings that I had living on the streets stays in here. And I keep it here. Ding, ding, ding. Reminder. Hey, do you remember this? Hey, do you remember this? Hey, do you remember that? Was it fun? Fuck no. Hell no. Use it. Because a lot of people say, I had such fun when I was fucked and high. No, you didn't. You had a fun moment. But if you really look at it, how many of those moments were a little bit of fun and the rest was shit? Fighting, screaming, ODing, waking up in the passage of a hospital because your friends are too scared to take you the rest of the way, so they just dumped you in the passage of the hospital at 2 o'clock in the morning. Not fun. I use those memories to remind me. Going through heroin withdrawals in prison. You that are heroin addicts will contest to this. You get so sick that you start vomiting and you start shitting yourself at the same time. It's coming out of both freaking ends. In prison, in the freaking bathroom, the head of the cell, not impressed. The rest of the members in the cell, not impressed. You're sick as a dog. I feel like I'm dying. I must clean that shit up, bro. I have to clean that shit up. These guys are going to block me if I don't. And inside prison, if you're an addict and you're withdrawing, they don't give you nothing for your pain or to help with the withdrawals. Nada. So people, remember this. You're not going to change until you want it. Until you stop bullshitting yourself. Stop making excuses for yourself. Stop lying to yourself. When's enough enough? Are you tired of living this life? Are you tired of feeling this way? Are you tired? Are you just fucking tired? Go out, get it, grab it with both hands and hang on. Because this ride is real. People, peace out. Love you lots. And to all my addict peoples out there, recovering addicts, the higher power has you. My God has me. God bless. Cheers.